Like many others who have looked into starting a Zeovit system, I was reluctant at first due to all the maintenance and testing and dosing and daily agitation of Zeovit that's required. For those who don't know, Zeovit is an ultra-low nutrient method for reef tanks. In a Zeo system, zeolites are loaded into a reactor, the zeolites being these stones. And through a series of dosing, you know, this would be a basic zeolite system. Through a series of dosing this, you're culturing bacteria in the zeo stones. And the product of that bacteria is then used through agitation of the zeovit, which is called mulm, what it's given off, to feed your corals. While these zeovit can be loaded in all sorts of reactors, such as a basic media reactor or a specifically designed zeovit reactor, or something as simple as a media bag. No matter what, they all have to be agitated daily. A media bag could simply be massaged. A standard media reactor can just be shaken. Most specific zeovit reactors have a plunger on top allowing you to pump the zeovit, which think churning butter would be the best way I could describe it. Now, while this doesn't take a ton of time, it's another step in the process. So, for that reason, today I will be reviewing a product that I've really wanted to get my hands on since I first saw the teaser pictures of it online. It hasn't quite been released yet, and for that reason, I contacted the company, slightly begged, mildly threatened, but in the end, I was offered the opportunity in which to purchase this. The Captain's Reserve Avast Marine 2-liter Zeovit Tumbler. And it's everything that I thought it would be as soon as I opened the box. White acrylic, well cut, no rough edges, smooth corners, really nice. Smoked acrylic chamber, which is part of the Captain's Reserve package, which to me is really nice because with zeovits being a coarse stone, as they tumble around, they're going to scratch up the inside. The smoked outside kind of keeps you from seeing that. Yeah, and I mean, it pretty much comes this way out of the box, ready to go, ish. It also comes with this bag, and they also include a length of hose, which is just kind of nice. I mean, a lot of us already have hose laying around, but for a company to go ahead and provide it, it's pretty nice. Assembly is fairly straightforward. There are these two side pieces. They literally slide down, one on each side, and the unit is assembled. It also comes with two adjustment valves, as well as two union fittings, so you can remove your reactor for service, things like that, without having to worry about a bunch of clamps and everything else. With that being said, disassembly, let me go and just take it apart real fast. There's this band right here that keeps the gears meshed. In this housing here is the motor that turns the tumbler. You'll see that there's a geared side, and then the side with your thumb screws where you can open it to actually load the zeovit. And then there's a pipe that runs all the way through. And in that pipe, there is a separator that kind of, has your inbound side and then allows your other side to be the outbound side. So simply, loading it up, putting it on with the gears meshed, and running this band between these two retainer screws. And sliding these back on. These hold the outbound fittings and inbound fittings in place to allow them to remain stationary while the tumbler tumbles. So what does this do? This makes it where we don't have to pump or agitate our Zeo. Still, we've got a dose, which conveniently, let me take this off real fast, and just spin that a little bit. You'll see on this model, there's actually a dosing port, which is a little valve that allows you to dose directly into the chamber, which is very convenient. Turn this up. back on. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and fire it up. And that's as simple as it is. There's a shaft that runs all the way through underneath the actual chamber to keep the gears straight. This is basically what it does. Now, obviously, this doesn't run 24/7. You would need a controller or a timer to tell it when to come on, how long to come on. But this actually gives you the opportunity to, agitate your Zeovit more often or less often, but at specific times. It's pretty handy. I'm not a person who wakes up at the same time every day, and a lot of times I'm kind of rushing out the door because I'm running late. I don't have to worry about forgetting to agitate my Zeos when I can just tell my controller that every morning at X time to go ahead and do so. So all in all, I'm really pleased with the purchase. This is the 2-liter model. I don't need really a 2-liter model. I have a 90-gallon tank. I need about a liter. However, again, being pre-production, this is what they had, so this is what I bought. I don't know what sizes they will have when it does go into production. Also, I can't speak for cost because, again, I bought this pre-production. I might have paid more, I might have paid less. Don't really know. I'll hope that I paid less. But, I may have paid for the luxury of getting it early. It does have, on this chamber side, it's vented. There is a fan on the actual motor that's in there. You may have noticed that it does get a little loud. We'll go into my issues or the pros and cons of it. I've pretty much gone over the pros. It tumbles your Zeo for you. That takes one step out of the process. It's convenient. It's very for a technophile who really loves all the technical things and equipment that you can get for these things. Yeah, I do a lot of do-it-yourself, but I really like when there's a good product out that can just do something for me. So I really like the concept behind this. Now, what I don't like, it's big. To scale, that's a Coke can, obviously. But this is about 24 inches across. I have a 90-gallon cube, which is in a 24 by 36 stand, meaning I have 24 inches on the outside dimensions. I can't put this running, that way in the tank. I can only put it in the 36 side, and with a sump, a very large skimmer, auto top-off reservoir, and all my controller electronics, plus a litany of other things under there, plus another reactor that I have for running carbon. There's not a lot of room to put something this big under there. Now that being said, I shouldn't be buying something this big. Most people who are going to use this size will probably be running 150 to and above, which they may have more space because that's going to be a bigger stand. For me, is that an issue? No, not really. I'm going to run this in an external piece of furniture that basically is going to house it and a few other things that I would probably like to have more space in my stand for. So that's not a problem. To some people, it may be. So it's just fair to warn you. The other problem that I noticed when I first got it, and that you may have noticed earlier in this video, is it's kind of loud. But again, to me, that's really not that much of an issue. It's kind of loud sitting out here on a table. But when it's under a stand with doors closed, it's going to be muffled some. And also, it's probably going to be set up to run either at night, when I'm in bed, or when I'm at work. So I'm never really going to hear it anyway. Except for maybe on weekends, and it's not going to run for that long. So again, it probably isn't louder than my Vortec, or my skimmer, or my return pump, all working together. It's probably not. But for some people, that may be something they care about. But you have to realize, this is going to be filled normally with 2 liters of Zeo plus water. It's going to weigh a lot. So this motor has to have a lot of torque to be able to turn this over. That's why it's kind of loud. And it's not really that loud. I actually measured the sound coming from it with a decibel meter on my phone. On average, in this room, I'm running mid-50 decibels. I'll actually remain silent for a minute for you to see. which is the equivalent of a quiet street. Now I'm going to go and plug this in with this decibel meter running. And it pulls low to mid 70s. Which is about the inside of a car, or loud singing, according to this app. Even gets to low 80s occasionally, but most of the time mid to high 70s. So, those are the cons I really have to it. Now, again, this is pretty much an unboxing review. I haven't actually put it, in play because I do have to do some, plumbing and tapping off of my manifold to actually get this guy set up, and removing some, older phosphate reactors and a refugium that I won't be using anymore because, for the Zeo system, that's generally how it goes. But as far as an overall, it looks amazing. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. It tumbles the chamber that's going to contain the Zeo. The design is impeccable. The customer service and communication, every time I contacted them, they were very quick to respond, very courteous, very informative. Even when the union fittings were not at the shipping facility, so it couldn't go out yet, they let me know that it was delayed and when they expected it to go out. I'll probably do another follow-up review once it's in place, just seeing it in action, and then probably another 6-month review after it's been running for a while, which will kind of be a mixed review of it and ZeoVit systems in and of itself. So again, thank you for listening, and thanks a lot, Avast Marine.